Hi, my name is Alex Pagliano. I'm a senior communications student with the emphasis of communication studies at the University of Minnesota Crookston. I live in Buffalo, New York, and this is my assignment 3, write a paper or deliver a presentation. So, how I got into the field of communication. I started my undergraduate study at a $60,000 a year institution, and quite frankly, I didn't know how I was going to pay for it. So I knew at least one thing though, that I needed to get a work study job when I enrolled on campus. And when it came to searching for student job opportunities, it was either working in the cafeteria for $9.75 an hour or working in athletic communications for $9.25 an hour. And not only the labor of washing dishes and whatnot didn't interest me, the stigma among a $60,000 a year school of washing dishes for your fellow classmates, it just didn't add up to me. So I decided to take a chance in athletic communications. Had a little bit of a background of it coming in with some high school stuff that I did, and found out that not only did I enjoy it, I was actually pretty decent at it. Um, I determined that was something that I wanted to pursue because that was what I had a passion in. I entered this $60,000 a year institution wanting to major in political science. I feel like there's a lot of similarities between my interest in communication, which is rhetoric, persuasion, things like that, that kind of correlate together. So I feel that's a benefit for me. Where I'm going with what I've learned from this degree in the communication studies emphasis, again with the persuasion, the rhetoric, how to construct an argument, and really how to relate and deal with people in organizational and interpersonal situations, is that I am taking this degree and moving on to further my education at a law school to be determined. We have 6 or 7 applications out, a couple acceptances, a couple we're still waiting to hear back on, that I will eventually make a call to action on once I have all the offers in front of me presented. So where I have been, I've sort of talked about how I started in the industry. Before I came to the University of Minnesota Crookston, I interned. I shouldn't say interned. I was a student assistant for the Hobart and William Smith Athletic Communications Department. I primarily worked with the football team and the field hockey team. Football team, when I was there, happened to be very good. They went undefeated for the first time in school history. So we did quite a bit of traveling that year. I got to do some work for the NCAA, which opened some doors for me later, and got a chance to go out to Minnesota for the first time. And that's actually what led me to the University of Minnesota Crookston. I actually wanted to pursue something out in Minnesota, considering how nice the area was when I went out there for a week to work for the NCAA. And it's why I have applied to a number of law schools out in that general area. Outside of those applications, outside of those work-related positions, I have also worked for the Buffalo Sabres and the Buffalo Bandits in a communications position. I worked extensively with the Buffalo Bandits in that. It always helps to know lacrosse and an organization that kind of lacks the love for lacrosse. But I did some things with the Buffalo Sabres too: community service events, autograph signings, occasional post-game notebooks, post-game stories that were on NHL.com. Feels good to be. I don't know, if you Google by Alex Pagliano, there's bylines of me out there. So if I ever wanted to go to the journalism route, I feel like that would be a viable option too, considering where I worked. I also worked for the Rochester Red Wings, the AAA affiliate of the Minnesota Twins. So I worked in player communications and marketing. So that was kind of dual faceted. I worked with player communications, which was basically working with players on one-on-one interviews, translating from English to Spanish, maintaining the autograph booth before the games. And then on the other end of my job, marketing. I worked with all of the things that we put online, such as our feature series that I helped lead, create, and coordinate the talent for, and the culmination of other things like pre-game stories, post-game stories, and the the sponsor content that we put on social media. I worked for the NCAA as well in 2 or 3 events. I worked the Division III football championship in 2012. I worked the NCAA Division I men's basketball tournament in Buffalo, New York in 2013. I've worked a lot of things in the athletic communications realm, but it just... I was also an interim assistant athletic director at a local community college, but I just got burnt out. I just couldn't do it anymore. When you're working in excess of 50, 60, 70 hours a week on salary, it just wasn't the best use of my true valuation. So, I guess that leads me to today. Knowing that I couldn't put in the time, or feel like if I did put in the time, I'd be cheating other aspects of my life, I went back, did some introspective soul searching to determine what was the best route for me to pursue, and it was law school. I've wanted to be a lawyer since I was 4, and I've always wanted to help people, and that's kind of what I'm doing right now. I don't think there's a person who's contributed more to the local basketball in our area over the last 24 months than I have, whether that's been officiating, coaching, or just the sheer support of youth. I really do appreciate helping people. If there's anything I can do for someone, I'm more than willing to do it within reason. I have an extensive community service background, so when I went through my resume and decided maybe what should I do, I leaned more towards my community service experience than my work experience because it was more gratifying to me. And I see that law as a potential output to continue that service at the highest level for my clients, for my community, and in some form, down the road, probably some political campaign. I joke that I want to be president. We'll see. I don't know if that'll happen, but I definitely have motivation, and I definitely have a lot of it. So I don't want to rule anything out. So I think that kind of talks about where I'm going. I am going to law school. Hopefully I can find a job at the same time in Minneapolis that will make me be able to live, I guess. Law school's not the cheapest thing in the world. I guess if there's anything that I hope somebody learns from this presentation, it's that if you work hard enough and you make the right connections, you can really go anywhere you want in life. I'm the son of a father who worked in the restaurant industry, bouncing in and out of jobs, and the cutthroat nature of the industry for 25 some odd years, with a mother who stayed home and watched us. So I grew up in a middle class family. I'm gonna rise above that, and I'm gonna look to change that for people like me. There has to be greater opportunity in this country for people like me to have upward mobility, and I guess you can kind of, if you kind of culminate where I've gone. I've worked in communications. I wanted to major in political science. I'm going to law school. I want to make a difference, and I'm politically oriented. Based on my last 30 seconds of this, I think you can kind of tell where I'm going, and what I want to do. So I guess my call to action would be, or my commitment to action would be, that I'm going to sign a deposit to go to law school and eventually remember my name, because you might vote for me one day. So thanks.